Have you ever been represented by an attorney in this case?
When I did the initial petition, I guess, I had that done by an attorney over in Stephenville, but that's the only representation I've had.
Okay, and who is that?
The attorney's name was Llewellyn Gary, and I think he's since passed away.
And how did you know this person?
I was referred to him by a friend of mine by the name of Ron Hankins.
Did you approach Ron Hankins about representing you in this case?
No.
Did you approach Ron Hankins about looking for a referral for
Yes.
an attorney to represent you in this case?
Yes.
Was this the only referral that he made?
I believe it was, yes.
Okay. When did you first approach Ron Hankins?
I would have to see the petition date if it was prior to that.
Okay. So how was this petition drafted?
I took a number of documents that I had and issues that I had and took them to Mr. Llewellyn. He drafted it for me.
Did anyone else assist in putting this petition together?
I would have had assistance from Ron Hankins because he knew what I was looking at. I did share with him the document after I got it back from Mr. Llewellyn.
Were there drafts that were sent back and forth between Mr. Llewellyn and you that you shared with Mr. Hankins?
I don't believe we shared any drafts. I think it was the final copy I shared with him.
Did you receive any drafts from Mr. Llewellyn?
I don't believe so. We may have, there may have been one or two iterations of this because I wanted, I think there may have been one or two iterations. So yes, I believe I received some drafts, although when I did the email search yesterday, there was only one email that I found from Mr. Llewellyn. That was the final copy.
Did you rely on Mr. Llewellyn for the law that went into this petition?
Yes.
Did you rely on anyone else
No.
on the law that went
No.
into the petition?
No.
Did you enter into any engagement letter to formalize your retention of Mr. Llewellyn?
I don't remember a letter.
Did you pay Mr. Llewellyn?
Yes.
So you considered him your attorney for this lawsuit?
I considered my attorney to prepare the document.
Turn the page to the next document you brought me. On the top it says petition. This looks like an email
Yes.
between you and Ron Hankins.
Yes.
And what is the date on that?
August 25th, 2014.
And it says attached is the petition which I have worked up.
Yes.
And that's from Ron Hankins?
No. That's from me to Ron Hankins.
This email is, well, look at the top there.
Yeah.
Where it says to.
Right.
Who does it say the email is going
Yes, to me.
Okay. So the email is to you from Ron Hankins.
Yes.
And the body of the email says attached is the petition which I have worked up.
Yes.
So is it fair to say that Ron drafted an initial version of this petition?
I don't believe so. I thought this was an email I was sending to him, so it might be out of context here. Because if you look at the next page, it's from the Llewellyn law firm with the petition. So.
Right, and on that email it says from Chelsea Hay at the Llewellyn law firm, or at llewellynlaw.com,
Yeah.
to George Best, which is you, correct?
Yes.
And the body says, Dear Mr. Best. So
Yes.
the body of that email was written by the Llewellyn law firm.
Yes.
Okay, so back to the email from Ron Hankins to you.
Yeah.
where it says where in the body it says attached is the petition which I have worked up, that would have been written by Ron,
Okay.
correct?
I believe so, but I don't recall it being this way.
Objection non-responsive to everything after belief so. At the time that this email was written, what was Ron's position?
He was board member of the Somervell County Hospital District.
And after you received this email from Ron Hankins, 2 days later, you received the email from the Llewellyn law firm
Yes,
with the petition.
yes.
And so Mr. Best sought your legal advice insofar as Mr. Harper's service on the board and insofar as what he believed was a violation of his oath.
Well, more or less, yes. And like I said, I turned him over to Gary Llewellyn and let that go as that may go.
I'm handing you what has been marked as Exhibit 16, and I'll represent to you that this is an email that Mr. Best produced to us at his deposition.
Okay.
And Exhibit 16 appears to be an email from Ron Hankins to George Best. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is that your email address up there on the top? CAPNRON?
It used to be. It used to be.
So that was your email in 2014.
Apparently.
And it says, attached is the petition which I have worked up. Have I read that correctly?
Okay.
Have you seen this before?
I don't recall. Don't recall it.
Any reason to doubt that this is an email from you to Mr. Best?
I mean, it appears to be.
And so it appears to attach a petition for removal, correct?
It says a petition. I don't know what kind of petition.
Well, doesn't it say under the, it says one attachment there on the...
Petition for, okay.
Yes. And so it purports to attach a, quote, petition for removal, correct?
Correct.
So did you draft an initial petition for removal?
I must have.
Okay. And that would have been the petition, a petition to remove Mr. Harper from the board of directors? Is that correct?
Well, it doesn't say it's Paul, but
Well, who else would it have been?
I don't know.
Any reason to believe it would have been any other person besides Paul?
I have no opinion.
Well, this email looks like you drafted it. You don't remember drafting the petition in 2014?
No?
Okay. I'm handing you what's been marked as Exhibit 17. Will you identify that for me?
Petition for removal of office, sir.
Have you seen that before?
I don't recall.
Is Exhibit 17 similar to what was attached in the email depicted in Exhibit 16?
Okay, say again.
Exhibit 16, which we went through a little bit ago, is an email from you to Mr. Best attaching a petition for removal. My question is Exhibit 17 what was attached to Exhibit 16?
Quite possibly. I don't know.